All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Hakeem Olajuwon and Nikola Jokic are the two most skilled centers to ever play in the NBA. Of course, they played in different eras. Jokic and Hakeem got different play styles. They played in different rules. It was just a different game while these two were both playing in the NBA. When you compare Olajuwon's era, which is the 1980s and 1990s, to Jokic era, which is the 2010s and 2020s. But what they both have in common is that they both were the best centers in the NBA at the peak of their primes. I don't think anybody's going to argue with me and say there's a better center in the league than Nikola Jokic right now, because there isn't any. And Jokic is the best player in the NBA in general. So there's no argument there. And when Olajuwon played, he played in the era where the center position was more stacked. He was going up against Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaq, of course, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo. But there was without question, Olajuwon was not better than those players. Olajuwon was the number one center out of all of them because he was the best offensively and defensively. Olajuwon, his defensive skill was just amazing. The way he can time the ball perfectly to block shots was amazing. Hence why he led the NBA in blocks 3 times, and why he is the all-time leader in the most total career blocks with 3,830. I don't think anybody's going to touch that record. That all-time blocks record is Olajuwon's record. But, yeah, he wasn't just great offensively. Of course, he was great defensively. But what Olajuwon did on the offensive end was just simply goated. Olajuwon has the best post-scoring moves ever. That is why, if you look up videos online, you'll see Olajuwon working out with Kobe Bryant, with LeBron James, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Amari Stoudemire. A lot of players went to Hakeem Olajuwon to learn the back-to-basket game because he truly is the best player to score with his back to the basket. And Olajuwon wasn't just a good low post scorer. He can even score in the high post. Olajuwon had a great mid-range jumper. And he had so many fakes. Shaq one time said it was so hard to guard Hakeem Olajuwon because he got 4 to 5 counter moves to just cook you with. Olajuwon was a great player, man. And what stood out to me about Olajuwon's career is that not only is he the all-time leader in total blocks, he is 10 in the all-time steals leader list. That was amazing to me because think about a center who is top 10 in steals all time. You assume centers are going to be top 10 in blocks, of course, because they're the tallest players. It's mostly going to be centers and power forwards, bigs pretty much that are the leaders in the blocks. But a center getting but all those steals, that's just amazing, man. That is a really, really underrated stat in my opinion. And there's one season where Olajuwon had he had a season where he had 200 steals. As you see, he had 213 steals in the 1980-1989 season. It's amazing. That is just amazing. The dream, man. But when it comes to Jokic, I don't think there's ever been a center who can score on all 3 levels and be the team's offensive facilitator at the center position. There's never been a player that has done that ever in NBA history. When I first found out about Jokic, it was in 2015 during his summer league debut, and he just amazed me. I said, yo, this guy's going to be great. But I'm not even going to lie. I didn't think he would be this good. I didn't think he would have been a top 20, top 30 player all the time, as we're seeing right now. But we can take a look at some of his summer league clips. Look at that. Still plays like a true big. He plays with his back to basket as well. And Jokic has such amazing touch around the rim. Look at that. This is young Jokic. This is baby Jokic. Look at that. Beautiful floater in the lane. That's Jokic. That's his favorite shot. And look at that. He can stretch the floor. Like I said, what I love about Jokic, I made plenty of videos on Nikola Jokic already. But like I always say about Jokic, I love his game because he still plays like a true big. He's not like these other bigs in the NBA who take 8, 9, 10 3-point attempts a game. Jokic takes it when he's really, really wide open. And he makes it at a high clip. As we see this season, he's shooting 51% from 3, dude. That's insane work. Simply goated. Simply goated. There's never been a center who can facilitate and score on all 3 levels like Jokic. Don't even tell me, don't even start trying to list out names because there isn't. Jokic can shoot the 3. He can score in the midi. Beautiful touch around the rim with the both hands. His floater is just money. And Jokic's game is he's just different. Like I said, the NBA need to give him the MVP award now. And look at Olajuwon's low post moves. We can take a look at some clips. Look at that. So many spins, so many fakes. Look at that. Beautiful dream shake on David Robinson. That's my favorite Hakeem Olajuwon highlight. He just cooked David Robinson in that 95 playoff series. Robinson's a great player too, a top 10 center, but Olajuwon had him in that series, man. Olajuwon was the best player in the NBA in the mid-1990s. But, yeah, Olajuwon, skilled offensively, can shoot the midi. And as we saw, like what he just did to David Robinson, he was taking other centers off the dribble. He was just faster on his foot than most centers. It was just amazing. The guy was, and as we see, the guy had over 200 steals in his season. He was ripping the ball from point guards and shooting guards. Imagine a center stripping point guards and shooting guards. We have centers like Rudy Gobert who can barely guard perimeter players. Notice every time when Rudy is outside the paint, he can't really guard anyone. If that's Hakeem Olajuwon, who's guarding guards or another great perimeter player, Olajuwon is not getting cooked in the perimeter. If anything, you better be on your P's and Q's offensively before he strips the ball from you or just blocks your shot at any time. K. Smith even talked about how sometimes Olajuwon will tell his teammates, hey, if he blows, let him blow by you. He would tell his teammates, hey, let him just go by you, so he can just meet their opponent at the rim and swat their shot. Olajuwon, man, great player. And to speak to Olajuwon's versatility, he was one of 4 players to have a triple-double. Of course, we know players who had a triple-double before is David Robinson, Albert Robertson, Hakeem Olajuwon, and of course the great Nate Thurman. But yeah, and also a weird fact that I found out about Olajuwon, which was just crazy. He actually had his triple-double rescinded by the NBA due to alleged stat padding when he played against Golden State in 1990. So he had 29 points, 18 rebounds, 11 blocks, and 10 assists. But the league ended up taking away his 1 assist, and then ended up, of course, just being 9. And a month later, that's when Hakeem Olajuwon got triple-double again. He had 18 points, 16 rebounds, 11 blocks, and 10 assists against the Bucks. That was just really, really interesting to me. And again, that was in 1990. But yeah, Olajuwon was just amazing. Just look what he did in his career. Almost 22 points a game, averaged 21.8 points per game, 11 boards, 2 assists, shot 50% from the field, and unlike most centers, he shot efficient from the foul line with 71% shooting. Great player, man. I love Hakeem Olajuwon. These two, Dream and Jokic, two most skilled centers ever. Hakeem Olajuwon, he did an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he praised Nikola Jokic. I'm sure believes Jokic is the best player in the NBA. Because look what he said about Jokic back in late 2023. And I quote, "He doesn't look strong, but I see he gets such deep position. I think it's the mismatch. But then he does the same thing again against bigger guys. His shots, his fakes are very difficult to time. You don't know when he's faking or when it's real. He has tricks. He is the one," said Olajuwon in a report by Sports Illustrated. Olajuwon knows ball. Greatness knows greatness. So, hey, if you don't want to take my word from it that Jokic is the best player, hey, take the word from Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, man. And Olajuwon, what was amazing to me about his career was that he defeated the prime Showtime Lakers. Him and his Houston Rockets team defeated the Showtime Lakers in their prime, and they ended up facing the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. So the Rockets beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals in 1986, which completely shocked everyone because this was Olajuwon's second year in the NBA, and he just outplayed everyone. Of course, basketball is a team game, but Olajuwon truly led the way for the Houston Rockets in this series. Larry Bird talked about it before the interview. He said we were just waiting for the Lakers, and then they just got beat by the Rockets, which shocked us. Again, this was the Showtime Lakers in their prime. Magic, Kareem, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper. The Rockets did that to them. The team played well, of course. The Twin Towers duo, Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon led the way. But look what Olajuwon did in that Western Conference Finals series. 31 points, 11 boards, 2 steals, and he averaged a crazy 4 blocks a game. And they beat the Lakers in 5 games, with the series being 4-1, of course. It was amazing. They ended up losing to the Boston Celtics, but it was just amazing to see Olajuwon in his sophomore season in the NBA do that. Olajuwon could have achieved so much more, and he actually almost left the Houston Rockets. A lot of people don't know, because in the early 1990s, after having disappointment after disappointment in the playoffs, Olajuwon got frustrated with the Rockets front office, feeling like he didn't have that much help surrounding him to help him push for NBA championship. So he actually almost left the Houston Rockets because since, of course, he made it finals in 86, but in 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, he was growing frustrated because he kept falling short in the playoffs, and he almost left. But, the team revamped, and of course he ended up winning the championship him and the Rockets ended up winning championship in 94 and 95. And some people want to say, it's when Jordan retired. But as much as I love Michael Jordan, I always have this theory where I believe, of course, in the alternate universe, if Jordan never retired, I believe the Bulls would have made the finals in 94. But I truly think they would have lost to the Rockets. Of course, the Rockets would have definitely won the West that year, and they would have faced the Bulls in the finals in 94. If Jordan never ended up retiring and playing baseball. And I really think the Rockets would have beat them in 6 games. I'm telling you, because that was just peak Olajuwon. Mid-90s Olajuwon was just the best player from 94 to 95, man. Like, it was just amazing. But, yeah, Olajuwon, man. Great player. Love Jokic. Again, I made many videos on Jokic. I think the league should just give the man the MVP award now. And similar to what I was just saying about Hakeem Olajuwon being frustrated with the Rockets front office, apparently Jokic is not too happy with the Denver Nuggets front office and the roster situation with the Nuggets as well. He talked about how in his country, if players aren't playing well, what they do is reduce the salary of certain players. So you could kind of see Jokic becoming frustrated with the Nuggets office. And there's been a lot of people talking about how, hey, the Nuggets are literally, looks like they're literally wasting Jokic prime right now, not surrounding him with great players because, of course, as we know, Jokic has never played with a all-star, which is shocking to me. Some people say, hey, there's probably one season where Jamal Murray could have made an all-star, should have got selected for an all-star selection, but he didn't. And he just never did. So Jokic literally just never played with another all-star, compared to a lot of other NBA greats who played with other Hall of Famers and other all-stars. That just goes to show you the greatness of Nikola Jokic. I personally feel like the Nuggets have a real good roster, and I feel like with time, as the season progresses, we will see them continue to get better. Yeah, because like I stated in my previous video about Jokic, Jamal Murray numbers go up in the playoffs. So is Michael Porter Jr. His numbers go up in the playoffs as well. Gordon. So only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I feel like the Nuggets are in a good spot, and they're currently, as of now, 6th in the Western Conference. But yeah, Jokic, one of the most skilled offensive players ever. But man, when it comes to the most skilled offensive centers, it's Dream and Jokic. But yeah, you guys tell me your thoughts and opinions about Hakeem Olajuwon and Nikola Jokic. Do you guys agree with me that these two are the most skilled centers of all time? The way these players play the game of basketball, it's just simply beautiful. But yeah, again, you guys tell me your thoughts and opinions about these two players, these two NBA greats, and till next video. All right.